What do you think the British want? Because in an alliance, you give and you receive. Nigeria gets security. What does the British get out of it?
All right, all my reasoning is towards security. So sometimes it might not be your regular understanding that I was trying to portray. I'm going to be portraying my own view is always on security.
Exactly.
Now, we might have gone to acts of security, which I know that is just a way of keeping Nigerian people busy to make believe that we are going to work on our security. Because first of all, I do not see a security challenge in Nigeria. I'm telling you, there's no security challenge in Nigeria. So I believe the British government are only inviting him to have some question and answer section with him with regards to maybe probably their understanding prior to his election. Remember, they supported him deeply even before he came into power. They have been his allies. As a person, the British government has been an ally of Tinubu, not Nigeria. I don't know if you're aware of that.
Not
in those days when Tinubu, according to him, left, he is also in his speech, he said it that he ran to Britain.
Yes,
and he even said that they even assigned their police to make sure he's safeguarded and all of that. Then you recall when Jonathan was president, Mr. Tinubu spoke in the House of, in their parliament, that should be House of Commons or thereabout. He spoke, not as a leader in Nigeria in any capacity, but he was invited at that level to speak in their parliament about Nigeria. And we had a president, Jonathan then. So the British has always been Mr. Tinubu's ally, first of all. That is, first of all, like you are my friend, and then you now work, I now work in a place where I can now use my official name even, but you have been my guy. You understand? So they are his guy. So I believe this section is just to review that his personal relationship with them first, to find out, okay, you know, when we supported you, we talked about this, how is it going? So, no problem, I'm coming. Then me on my own part, how will 2027 look? Okay, what are you looking at? You know, and then they had that discussion. You understand me? That will be the undertone of that discussion, whatever has happened, is to understand what will be the British government role for him with regards to ensuring that he continues, and so these two can continue. You understand me? So I think that's basically what's in for that meeting that we may not have heard. Remember, mine is an assumption. I have no proof. You understand? That's one. Then, but generally speaking, I don't think there's any new thing the British government is looking for in Nigeria that they don't already have control over.
One would think that looking at everything that has been happening, that might be quite to the contrary. So do you mind explaining exactly what you mean by that statement?
Security challenge business ongoing.
They don't have a security challenge, but they have a security
challenge business ongoing. You know, business is an exchange of goods and services. So we're meant to understand. I think that's what they have. They don't really have a security challenge. If they do have a security challenge by now, I'm sure that they would have swiftly handled it. You understand? When they had security challenge in the Niger Delta, they handled it. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I'm not sure they have security challenge in Nigeria. I'm sure they have a security challenge business ongoing in Nigeria, that even the next person comes in, you expect him to end that business. But come on, it's for profit making.
Who's making the profit here?
Because everybody that is involved is making the profit.
Who is involved?
Everybody that you know involved is involved.
I don't know of anyone who is involved.
Wow, but you know, but you said there's a where is the security challenge? Why did you say there's a challenge?
Because we've seen attacks and
attacks by who?
From the Boko Haram, the ISWAP, the bandits. Those are.
Do they make profit? They make profits.
Yeah, so you're talking about the terrorists.
That is the terrorists. Yes. So who? Then let me also ask. So who do we expect to have countered them or prevented these attacks?
The military apparatus.
Good. So how are they doing? Now let me tell you something.
It's a different case if you say they're not doing the work well. But
no. I am not saying they are not. Listen to me. I think you people are
I'm trying to hear what
this is what we have dedicated our lives for. So we speak how we feel based on our own study, like I said earlier. Nigeria does not have a security challenge because Nigeria has one of the best intelligence gathering agencies in Africa. You understand me? My father served in the Department of State Service. Then it was, they pulled them from the police, and then they called them NSO, from there to SSS, before they became DSS. You understand? He retired as a deputy director. Now, but we don't talk about that because he didn't train us. We had to come up on our own, you understand? But the point is this. when they had DSS, these men are able to gather intelligence and prevent attacks. You understand me? So I started wondering why. Are there no more DSS that gathers intelligence internally and prevents attack? They reach out to the authorities to prevent this attack. That is one. Two, we have another intelligence agency called National Intelligence Agency of Nigeria, still in defense. Their job is also to gather intelligence, but basically from intelligence foreign policy, yes, intelligence, with the aim of preventing same attacks. Then we have the Defense Intelligence Agency. You understand me?
Yeah.
Their job is still to gather intelligence that intends to destroy, attack, which has to do with basically what you're talking about. You understand? And all these agencies are more funded than the entire police put together. And if you put the entire military together, it's not up to the number of police officers, but this agency, each of them, inside agency, are more funded than the police put together. That is one. Then, the result of intelligence gathering, we're not seeing it. Do you understand? We're not seeing the intelligence. Instead, we now see DSS go to court cases, which is unlike what we know about them. So I think that's misplaced priority to an extent. Now, do you know the Nigerian army produces AK-47? Are you aware?
No.
Good. Most AK you see the Nigerian army soldiers carrying are not foreign. They are made by the Nigerian army.
Right here in Nigeria.
Right here in Nigeria. They produce their own guns. Do you know they produce the best armored vehicle currently in Africa in Nigeria by the Nigerian army? I don't know if you are aware. Oh, you are not, and they also export to sell. Are you aware? They produce it here. I'm not telling you that they fix part here. I'm telling you they produce it here.
Wow.
Armored vehicles. They produce it here. Now, I'm just telling you some of their capabilities of the Nigerian army. No, not foreign influence or anything. You understand me? So, when you look at that level of internal improvement that they have, are you hearing me? Do you know we are best in guerrilla warfare in Africa? Are you aware?
Yeah.
We are best in guerrilla warfare in Africa. Do you know we have some of the best trained army officers, not just in Nigeria, but globally? Ask the UN, they will tell you. Why do you think the UN insists on having Nigerian contingent on any serious peacekeeping?
And it also
do you also know
the influence we're talking about?
Do you also know that, see, if I begin to tell you our security pros, do you know we police Italy?
Really?
On an annual basis, Italy as a country comes to Nigeria to get police officers, the same one you call corrupt. They police Italy. Are you aware we police Australia? Okay, I'm not. These are foreign countries that you see developed. So I don't want to say African countries that we already. I mean, this white. Are you aware police? Are you aware most of our police officers have worked in American police, manage their precincts? That you know here, as most of them you see their DPS in different. They have already managed police formations in Europe and in America. Why we are in this same uniform, not another one, as in they are sent from here. So I'm coming. So when I see what is going on in Nigeria, I understand we do not have a security challenge. Because if we have a security challenge, we will fight it all over the world. Anybody, including you, in your house, if you have a security challenge, do you know if you can't even settle problem you have with your wife, you won't think well even when you leave the house.
True.
Right?
Yeah.
Until you settle that issue, whether on phone or and once you settle it, you have a sign of relief, right? But do you know that when you initiate the quarrel with your wife with the intention of escaping from the house or something, you don't feel bad.
Yeah.
If they call, you just add more fire and then you look for one small solution and you scatter it again. Is that not what you do?
Yeah.
That's what's happening. Now, when this whole issue you call insecurity now started, the question is, how did it start? We've had men confessing. We've had men in power confessing on how the influx started, of how these people were trained and supplied welfare and logistics from Nigerian army using Nigerian helicopters. We've had these stories. I don't know if I'm the only one that have heard it.
No, we've
good. Now,
I was going to ask you
the people that have spoken, they did not run. The people are not running. These are governors, people that are privy to information. The same people have told us that they know where these people are. They have intelligence. They have tracking devices that have pointed these people to them. I don't know if you understand me.
Yeah.
This, I'm not telling you that this one, that's what I'm saying, we don't have problem. These people have told you that this is it. Then they here. Now, they have gone as far as people on uniform, security agency uniform, snapping with them. You people we don't have a problem. We have an ongoing business that people are profiting from. Are you getting me? Now, these are the things we should be bold enough to tell us the truth. Okay, why is it not in the South? Come and try it here. You think we're waiting for police? No, I'm just coming. Why is it not in the South? Have you noticed that Nigeria's so-called insecurity problem is regional? It's regional.
Why is
it's highly regional. No, it's regional.
I want to cut in to ask something. The capabilities, even the ones I didn't know, I knew about, are there, and people have asked that question. And a lot of some people from within the Nigerian military apparatus in different ranks have actually said that they are being held back in one capacity or another. But I want to ask, you said it's a business, okay?
I'm sorry, you just said something very sensitive. Do you know the military, one of the tightest and most disciplined regulations on earth? In fact, from those days of the Bible till tomorrow, the military is so disciplined that, do you know, an officer is not permitted to say these things like this. So do you know what it takes for an officer to get fed up to the point of saying, hell to your standards? This is the challenge. Do you know that's equal to treason?
Yes, it is.
Do you know the meaning of an officer coming out to tell you, I am held back? These are things he's not supposed to say. That means he's had it up to here. He can no longer tolerate it. Are you getting me?
Yeah.
So he has come out to go against every discipline installed in him to pass this information that you just passively mentioned.
So is it top brass in the military, or is it from the
You are asking the wrong person.
Okay.
You are a press man. Questions like this. No, there are people.
You because you're here, right?
Right. Yes. No. There are people responsible by law to answer these questions. And I want you media people. See, you media people have to man up. You people are not manning up. Let me explain. There are people responsible to answer these questions. Are you getting me? We elected them from councillor to chairman to House of Assembly to governors to national assemblies. They are and president. They are responsible to answer this question. Do you know? Is it not the senators that scrutinize the military before they approve budget? And they're not the one that call them to ask questions? They have such powers? Are you getting me? So it is your job now. If you are interested in getting an official answer that will stand, whatever I say here will not stand, because I am not in any official capacity.
I'm not asking you for official answer.
No, I'm telling you what is fact now is that whatever I say here, like I said, is my view.
Exactly.
Now, and my view has limits. It is not an official view. In fact, it can be questioned and so many things. And I'm telling you now that the right person you should ask this question, you asked me, a non-office holding civilian. Yeah, the right person is that you should look for the House of Rep or House of Assembly, or Federal House of Rep, any of them, whether the House of Rep or the Senate. You should look for them. Their numbers are out in public spaces. You people should make effort, whatever it takes, to go and ask them this question and air it. The answer they give you is going to be taken as an official answer in Nigeria. But as for me, I have no privilege to classify documents that they have. So they are the right person to tell you who in the military is holding whose hand, because it is their job to ask and get that information. Even if it is classified, they can decide to either divulge it to you. Now, so if you're asking me who in the military is holding whose hand,
that's not what I asked.
You are asking me who is tying the hand in the military now.
You mentioned that we don't have a security problem.
We don't have a security problem.
We have a security business problem.
We have a security challenge business.
Was where is this Nigerian military is great and great training. We have a whole lot of intelligence apparatus, but there's obviously something holding them back from using these mics that they have to do what needs to be done. So the question is,
nothing is holding them back.
You're sure nothing is holding them back?
I am very sure nothing is holding them back. Let's be realistic. The deployment to these troubled zones. These men in these troubled zones, they are given weapons to shoot and they are killed or they kill. Or that's what we have been seeing. So they've been making deployments and they've been doing to what the public believe that they have been doing their part. We're just not seeing any. We're just not seeing any advance. So I'm not sure anybody is holding anybody back. But soldiers has come out, like you said here, to tell us that their hands are tied, which means they are not allowed to inflict the right amount of force that ordinarily should be and which they believe they are capable of. Are you getting me? So having said that, I think those soldiers should be tracked down to ask, come, who is tying your hands? Who is holding you back? Because I know the president is the commander-in-chief of the armed forces. I know we have the minister of defense who operates not the operational angle of the defense, but more like provide civilian oversight since it's a democratic times. Then I know we have the chief of defense staff who is in charge of coordinating those challenges that is ongoing in the north. Then I know we have the lieutenant general for army. We have the three-star general too for navy and air force, who are also supposed to control their own components in line with their AORs. You understand? That's area of responsibility. You understand me? I know these men give orders a lot. I've seen them giving order in Niger Delta. In fact, I've seen how swift the orders from the commander-in-chief works in the south. I've seen how he ordered for state of emergency in a very peaceful state. And I've seen the level at which soldiers were moved to take over the government house that day. And I've seen that they are very capable. And I've seen him give the same orders in the north. And I've seen how slow and unproductive such orders have also been. Not to another military, that's a military that he gave that acted in the south. He has also given them in the north, but I've seen how slow it has acted in the north. So I am just led to believe, in my own understanding as a layman, that this is more of a security challenge business and not a security issue. Because if it's an issue, we'll handle it. When we have security issues in the south, we handle it. Anywhere in the world, they handle security issues. We were having some security issues in the south, and we handle it, and it's reducing. And they are also having some in the north, and they actually do handle it when they have security issues. In fact, the north is one of the most secured places. Let me explain. Even till tomorrow, it's one of the most secure places. Let me explain. Listen. When they talk about police brutality and extortion, have you ever heard one person in the north being brutalized? All through the NSAS story, beginning to end, did you hear one northern person in the north that SARS made a mistake in those days? Or even till tomorrow that police brutalized one person in the north?
Why do you think that is?
Good. That's to show you that they have security. Because really even the security agents can't misbehave. Even the security agent can't misbehave there. That's what I'm telling you. The point I'm making is this, sir. When they want to end this, they have the capacity. Are you hearing me? They even have the willpower, but they just don't want to enforce it. Now, by don't want to enforce it, I strongly believe that, let me now put a name to that your question, that the Nigerian military, for whatever reason I do not know, is holding back on handling this issue. And I want to tell you that these issues that are happening in the north actually are police issues, not military issues. The military only hijacked it so that they can leave their barracks and have something doing. And I'm not sure they want to end that something doing they have, because these are police issues. Let me give you, and when this challenge in the north started, the police were on top of it. And all of a sudden, the military started making a push that they want to be part of internal security. Remember, the police is the lead internal security agency of the Federal Republic, which makes the military report to the police. Are you aware of that? Good. Now, do you know the soldiers can't do anything without the permission of the police internally, except directed by the president, which can only be on state of emergency situation. Even aside of that, even on the directive of the president, based on our constitution, they must still relate with the police as lead internal security agents. You understand? And they don't like that. They don't like the fact that they have to talk with the police before taking orders. The only way they take full orders is that the police has to do a match and hand over that crisis to them, like they did in Bronu. That's not the first time. In Iwo River, somewhere around here too, they had a challenge, and the police felt that this challenge has gone beyond policing challenge. The military should come in. They did a parade and handed over the flag to the military to handle that Iwo River something issue. From there, I don't want to go back there. And the military tried their best, and they could not. And they recalled the police again and said, we have tried, we could not. They did another parade and returned back the flag to the police. Now in the north too, when this issue started, the police were handling it. Police were also good intelligence. They have the SID, the State Intelligence Department, and the Federal Intelligence Department. It used to be FIB and SID, but it's D now. Now, they do a lot of good intelligence when they are funded, and they were handling this challenge in the north, managing it. You know, the police should be more of a relationship, not really action. So they know how to manage people. They know who to hold. Police know who to pin down and tell you, may this thing not happen. They know how to do all those things. That's part of their training. It's not military training. It's police training. You understand? Now, the police were doing this and this thing were there. The military wanted to leave the barracks. And then all of a sudden, they pushed and pushed and pushed, and then they came out of the barrack. And then the police, through DIG Wakama, who is a reverse man, is retired long ago. He was the one the IG sent during the march past. And then the police handed over the flag in Sambisa to the Nigerian army, signaling that the army cannot take charge of this situation. Then it was just in Sambisa, in Sambisa, we were hoping that handing over to the military now, it will not be cut. Immediately hand over to the military. The major operation we had is that Boko Haram has overrun an army military base and equipped themselves. That's the next news we had. They handed over to the military, and the next thing, Boko Haram overran the military base and took over. I don't know if people are aware of that. And that's how they got equipped to here, locally. And then we start seeing something that should not necessarily be war, something that should be intelligence-driven. We start seeing full-scale war internally. And then from there, we start seeing that they've opened another branch of the franchise in one other state, Zamfara. And then they brought other investors like ISIS. And some other investors started coming in. And now, now, in fact, people can, 4 of you can just stay in this room now and decide, how do we collect now? This government, how do we collect? We are now Lukuwara. You form one thing. Are you getting me? But do you know, I know that they can stop this? Because immediately, the same modus operandi wanted to rise in the southeast. They crushed it. Yes or no? Is it another military that crushed it? It's the same Nigerian army. So the point is this. Nigerians, not everybody, the media people should lead, and every other person should follow. And they should question the politicians they elected, not even the military. No, now they approve these people appointment when the president give them. No, question them and ask them a very simple question. What is going on? Why is this continuing? That's one. Then 2, the president should, as a matter of urgency, ask the Nigerian army to hand... No.
Return it to the structure it's supposed to be.
Yes. Because now, let me tell you something. If you take away this from the army, they return to the barrack. No work.
So is there
they only come now and work for you. What they call JTF, what Obasanjo established.
The Joint Task Force.
So they come and work for the police. Okay. And that's what they don't want.
And you're certain about that?
I am extremely certain.
I know there's a lot you can't say.
The Chief of Defense Staff said something recently. Go, and I quote, the current Chief of Defense Staff, who was Chief of Army Staff recently and promoted to Chief of Defense Staff, Oluyede is his name.
Yes.
He said we have to now fund and train our police officers, because most of the job the army is doing are police jobs. He acknowledged
community relations. Because he did say something about we can't fight them alone. We need the communities to fight.
You understand me? And do you know, up till now, there is no military contingent in the north that the police does not have to mix with to get success. Because even in a war, when you conquer territories, it's the police that map the territories you conquer. You understand? The police have so much role people don't even know they play. You understand? It's just that they are relegated. And the government is refusing to fund the police. Because when you fund the Nigerian police, they will become among the best. The corruption you mentioned will reduce 100%. I tell you the truth. And when it reduces, it will be difficult for any other area of Nigeria from the federal to the state to be corrupt. I mean in government. Once the police is rid of any corrupt thing, no other arm of government, whether legislature or executive, will be corrupt. You understand me? So it is on purpose allowing the police to be begging. Is on purpose. The highest implementation of police budget in Nigeria is 30%. As an approved budget, the highest implementation is 30%. It used to be 25%. Approved budget is 30%. So if you approve 100 billion for the police, for example, the highest they have ever seen is 30%. Now you begin to say we gave police 30 billion. The public will see it as big money. But I have calculated the fuel money to keep Nigerian police running. We have over 2,000 police stations in Nigeria. We have 774 local governments. Each must have minimum a police station by law. Now, Obiakpo alone has about 14 to 16 police stations. I've not mentioned tactical team like anti-cultism, minus anti-kidnap, all those ones. I mean, police station is about 14 to 16 in Obiakpo. Port Harcourt, the same thing. Then some local government has 3, some 2. So in Rivers State alone, we have like 60. So if you calculate now, and Lagos has times 2 of whatever we have. So that's 7 or something. We have like almost 2,000 stations. Now you calculate your fuel price. And let's say each has just 2 patrol van Hilux, Fill it. Fill a hillocks a day. Fill the 2 hillocks. You want them to respond, right? Fill the 2 hillocks, then keep it in shape, service it. Then calculate the fuel amount it takes to fuel 4,000 hillocks. Example, just minimum 4,000 hillocks minus tactical teams. So calculate what it takes to fuel them so that they can patrol consecutively, regularly, and respond to emergency.
Yeah.
But do you know how much is given to a police station by the federal government? It used to be 25,000 for 3 months. Now it's 45,000 for 3 months. 3 months is 90 days. That's why when you call the police, they tell you that they don't have fuel. If they are not lying. So this is on radio now.
Yeah.
Right? So I'm telling you how much they have relegated the police background. But do you know the military, they don't try this? Do you know when you retire from the military, you ain't as if you're still serving? Whereas police are protesting for their welfare.
Yeah.
Why the military, when you retire, your salary is as if you are still serving. A general sky is changed even after retirement. Are you aware? So have you seen how much they fund the unprotective sectors? And the sector that will actually be protective, be proactive and all of that, they relegate them because of fear that if this sector is active, we'll have problems. It's like the Tower of Babylon. Babel. If these people, the police is active, we are going to have problem in this government because they will bring out everything. But when they still want the right work to be done, do you know they go back to police? And then they pick some people from the police, and then they form NSO and turn them to SSS and DSS. It's police that they form.
Yeah, but
do you know they still go to the police, and when they want investigation, they pick out people and then they form EFCC.
Yeah, I have to cut you short now.
That's to show you.
We have run out of time, way out of time. But thank you so much for coming today. A very illuminating conversation on standpoints concerning security. I guess the conclusion would be if we get our security infrastructure well, and of course we do have the capacity to do it, we wouldn't need the UK or any other country to help. Thank you so much.